4 Midwest Guys presents
The Rise of Skywalker Final Trailer Review.
Gotta make sure you turn the mics on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 4 Midwest Guys presents The Rise of Skywalker Final Trailer Review. Brian, we're getting ever so close. We're entering ever so close. By the way, I'm B. Willie, and this is Mr. Brian Aikenbauer.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
Not much, man.
So, like I said, we're ever so close. Now we've gotten the final trailer. This is it. My tickets are bought. We've got our tickets. We're ready to roll.
Heck yeah.
So, so we thought we'd just break down the last trailer and tell you what we think and what might be and what may not be. So, with that in mind, let's jump right into it because there's a lot to cover. First thing, like we always do, we'll watch the trailer and then we'll break it down.
It's an instinct. Feeling. The Force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Long have I waited, and now you're coming together. Is your undoing.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny. The Force will be with you.
Always.
Again, got to turn on the microphone. So so there's the final trailer. First impressions I got when I first watched it is it's a great trailer. It's a very moving trailer, but there's no big giant reveal like there was in, say, the D23 Dark Side Ray kind of reveal that we had. What was your feeling overall of the trailer overall?
Well, I mean, I thought it was good. We didn't get a ton of information from it. We just got basically the voiceovers of each of the main characters talking about, first it was Finn saying the Force brought us together, then it was Poe saying, people fighting together, and then it was Rey, and then it was Kylo, and then it was Luke, or it was the Emperor, then Luke. Luke had the longest, which I thought was interesting.
The other Jedi.
Yeah, he had the longest voiceover of them all, and at the very end they split
Luke and Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think's a big reveal.
Yeah, exactly, because when you heard a lot of people talking about it when it first came out, they're like, and then Luke at the very end says, the Force be with you, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't even mention the fact it was half and half.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, it wasn't like a huge, like we saw in the scene that's up there right now. Mm-hmm. We saw that, we think it's Easter eggs they're dropping.
Yes.
Because they said, the saga comes to an end. So the saga being the entire Star Wars as we know it,
Yeah.
It comes to an end. So we're thinking they're gonna drop Easter eggs of all the places that they've been. All the characters we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, and starting off with this one, and so we're going to take a few still shots, and we're just going to, these are some of the more important scenes I thought we should talk about. And in this scene, I think you see her running through the jungle. She has she's fighting against the probe. We'll just call it the probe droid. I always forget the actual name.
The trainer,
the trainer,
the trainer droids,
the trainer droids. And I think here, this is my thought: is I think this is actually Leia's helmet. From the Return of the Jedi. We have a new little technology, by the way, so I'll use my little illustrator here so you can see. I think she just happens to be running through the jungle. She happens to be training with the droids, and she just happens to kick this over. I think this is Leia's helmet that she takes off in Return of the Jedi when she meets Wicket, the Ewok. That's what I think this is. But again, yeah, I know you had a different take, which is just as possible because it's a training montage.
Right. That could be just like one of the visors that like we saw Luke wear
right.
when dealing with those droids.
But she was doing it with the mask down, then she decides to throw it off.
Right.
But yeah, I think either way. But I think it's a big clue that we're on Endor. Mm-hmm. We're definitely on Endor. So, and that this is happening. And JJ is real big about keeping his secrets, but this is. I think for the fan, for the casual fan may not catch it, but I think for everybody else, it's more than possible. So let's move on to the next one here. Okay, so here I thought this was interesting. This is what appears to be the Death Star 2, probably relics, and I think this is interesting to her character because this harkens back to The Force Awakens. With her being a scavenger. Now, is she doing a force jump? Yes, she is, but she's already very skilled at being in these kind of environments because of her going through old Star Destroyers looking for, parts to salvage and whatnot. So this is kind of, she's almost at home here, really, and just kind of helps her overall character arc,
Yeah, what I thought was interesting when you look at the jump is when you think about the Death Star 2, where would she be jumping? The only thing, the first thing that came to my mind is that this is the shaft
where the Emperor falls down.
Where the Emperor fell. And that she's just jumping from one part to the other because she's being called
to. He's calling to her.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good interest. I like that theory. I hadn't thought about that. That's
because remember when we looked at her scavenging in the first one in Force Awakens.
Yeah.
We were like, where's she at? And then when you panned out, it was the ship turned sideways.
Upside down.
Yeah. And we were like, oh, that's where she's at. Mm-hmm. So I think this can be much of the same thing.
Same thing.
And it's just like the Death Star turned sideways.
Yeah.
And she's just jumping.
From one end to end. And that's the big reactor. Yeah, that's possible. It kind of looks like let's use our brand new technology. I feel like John Madden.
Yeah.
So we got this little reactor core over here. So that's possible. It kind of looks like a junked out reactor core. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like that theory, Brian. I like that a lot actually. So let's move on here. Okay, so we're talking about voiceovers, and he has. It's very interesting to hear Finn say that the Force brought us together. So Finn has finally accepted that not only is the Force real. We've gone from like the Force Awakens with we'll use the Force, and that's not how the Force works. And
well, that's why I think it's funny that he's the one saying the Force brought us together. That's not how the Force works. And then for him to say it, I think it's just one of those like the Force brought us together. Like, does he really mean it, or is it one of those like he's just trying to?
I hear sincerity in his tone anyway in his voiceover. Now, whether he recorded those lines just for the trailer or if it's actually from the movie, I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting, though, that it's him. Like, he's kind of come full circle and that he now believes in the Force and in destiny. In the other two movies, he's just running from his destiny. So maybe he's kind of accepted the fact that he's here for a reason. That there's a reason he became a stormtrooper. There's a reason he defected as a stormtrooper. And he has some bigger meaning and some bigger purpose. So are we going to find out more about him? Maybe. I always said from the first trailer in The Force Awakens, I always had a wild theory that he might actually be a little bit Force sensitive. just because of the way they worded a trailer. In fact, I talked about Gabby about it with it on Master and Padawan about that crazy theory that Poe would become the bad guy and he would become the good guy. And he did hold the lightsaber. You know, he does. He's the only.
Yeah, he did wield it very well.
Yeah, and he got to blow in
for
on Kylo
for a first time.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool to hear him either way, even if they decide which is more likely he's not force sensitive. That it's cool just to hear him say that. So this is the really cool shot. Obviously, you got Lando in the middle, and I will switch back to Telestrator mode here. So here's Lando, and this looks like Poe over here. Here's C-3PO there. So this is another, this is probably the big meeting scene like we've seen in The Force Awakens and another Star Wars where they're trying to formulate their plan of attack.
Right, where they're gathering the troops and telling them what the big overall plan is.
Yeah, what it's going to be, kind of thing. It's kind of neat to see the bigger picture. The other thing that's kind of cool, and I don't know if people have seen it. Let me clear the telestrator. If you look right here, there's a new character I've heard that may be related to Admiral Akbar, because that looks like his same species. That looks like Mon Calamari. So. Oh,
okay.
There.
I do know. Like when this first came out, I zoomed in to see who I could see. You can see Rey in this one. You can see Rose when you zoom in. Chewie is right behind the post.
I'm looking.
He's right behind the post, so his back's to you.
Okay.
Right in front of the blue guy. So see the blue guy,
This guy?
No, the blue guy to your right.
This guy.
Yeah. Now go up and then to the left slightly.
Here.
Yep.
That's Chewie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
right here's what we're talking about. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you look over all the way in the doorway, and I pointed this out to you when it first came out.
Yeah.
Not that doorway, the other doorway.
Over here?
Yep, right there. When I zoomed in, it looked like a Mandalorian helmet.
Ooh, so we might have the Mandalorian in this.
Yeah.
Or some
version. Some version of the Mandalorian or something.
Could be Sabine.
Yeah. And I thought that was kind of, I was like, oh, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, they're hiding in plain sight.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff, definitely. So I think, again, there's going to be a ton of Easter eggs in this movie. There's going to be a ton of callbacks. I think the one, though, with the Mon Calamari, though, I think is interesting. I think this is a little retconning going on because there was quite a backlash when they killed off Akbar in The Last Jedi. So I think this might be a little bit of a little retcon by
JJ.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting one. I'm trying to remember his name. Brian, maybe you know. I've seen him in other things, and I can't remember his name now. It's completely... He was part of the cast announcements. Might have to look him up.
Oh, he's the same guy that was in Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we see him in full rebel gear, so he's definitely a rebel. And he looks to be helping Billy Lord, which is Carrie Fisher's daughter. So maybe he's her love interest. I don't know. So here's the guy we're talking about, and then here's Carrie Fisher, daughter, who is
Dominic Monaghan.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, he was a
technology of Google.
He was a hobbit, and the Tros. But here he looks like he may be playing the love interest of Billy Lord's character in the new one. And I like Billy Lord's hairstyle here. It looks very reminiscent of Carrie Fisher from Return of the Jedi.
Didn't they say that's why she did it?
Maybe.
I thought I want to say I heard an interview with her saying that she did that as an ode to her mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool if they did, because she kind of looks like her there a little bit. And then obviously you got Rose, who, everybody's been like, where she's not in the toys, she's not here, but she's in the movie, obviously.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was interesting from this is that everyone's running.
They seem to be running like they're getting to their ships, like maybe an attack is coming. I guess.
And it almost looks like this. Okay, so this scene to me reminds me of like the ice planet Hoth, right?
Really?
Right,
Okay.
because everything had those gray tones to it, and there was always that mist, which you could see the mist on the
Okay.
inside.
So
And-
I've always viewed this as more of a jungle scene, but yeah, it's possible now.
And it looks like they're looking at like what I pictured, because they obviously don't show anything, but it looks like they're pointing towards like the opening of the cave, right? And those three are looking at what's coming in, where everybody else is already running away from it.
and she's charging towards it.
Yeah,
To me, and maybe it's because of the voiceover that happens here. This is where Poe's like, we can lead people. It almost looks like she's ignoring these two, and these two are trying to appeal to her to stop wherever she's going, whether that's into harm's way or not. I'm not sure.
going after Finn.
Could be, maybe to rescue him or something. I don't know, but yeah. So, but she definitely looks like she has a much bigger part as far as the leadership is concerned this time around.
To be honest, she looks like she's in the movie Ghostbusters. She looks like she's
Well,
wearing that outfit.
Well, to me, it's like they took Star Wars and mixed it with Indiana Jones, because even Poe Dameron looks like he's Indiana Jones in this one.
Oh yeah, they did. Harrison Ford wasn't in the movie, so he did the.
So we'll put Indiana Jones clothes on him.
He did the wardrobe.
Throw a little Star Wars in there and see what happens. But yeah, so hard to say what's going on. This is unfortunately the only picture we get of her. So I'm hoping that her story, unlike the last in The Last Jedi, is a little bit more bigger and has purpose and meaning, rather than her little, like they did with Finn. Same with Finn, that was like kind of wasted. Okay, here we go. So here's Poe next to his X-wing, obviously, and then Chewie and Finn. Now we do know that all of them are together in most of the movie. So you get Chewie, you get Poe, you get Finn, you get Rey. So they're all they're all on this venture together through most of the movie, I'm told. So at least that's what's being told here. But so yeah, pretty cool though. I like that Finn finally has his own outfit. That he's not wearing that Finn's jacket or Poe's jacket anymore. He's kind of his own person,
Right.
so to speak. He's not wearing stormtrooper boots anymore or anything like that. And then good old Chewie, who I'm hoping survives. There's some wild rumors out there. No spoilers, but because I don't know anything, but I'm really hoping Chewie survives. I don't know, but anyway, definitely back also in the background again, jungle-like, probably Endor, is my guess. I don't know. Anything else you see, Bear?
No, I mean, that's pretty much all I saw in this one.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where it starts to get cool. Probably on Endor or some other planet around Endor is the crash remains of the Death Star 2. What we think, there's obviously let me switch back here. So here we go. We got ourselves a cannon, laser cannon.
So I wonder if that's
some sort of ruins.
My guess, you know what I think that is?
You think it's an actual fortress and not ruins?
I don't think it's. I think it's actually. So when they're in the main star, the main thing of the Death Star, and they're flying through the.
Oh, you mean like a trench, like
the trench with the cannons? And I think that's one of the sides of.
That would be the Death Star 1, but yeah, you would still have.
But you
the Death Star 2.
you should probably still have something similar to it.
Sure.
So maybe that's what it is.
But I just love these these ruins, and obviously you can also see Rey right here with her lightsaber charging. I don't see Kylo yet, but she's on there for some reason. She's going after something, so,
right?
But okay, so here's a good close-up of what we probably were looking at again. And you can see again in the background, obviously the laser back here.
Yeah.
And then she's looking towards Kylo, and you got waves crashing all around him. I was told that this scene took almost 3 weeks to get right.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
They said they were wet the whole time. So I'm very interested. This must be a very elaborate duel, I'm hoping. If it took them 3 weeks, then this wasn't just like a quick couple slashes of the lightsaber. This was something a little bit more epic going on there. So hopefully we'll get to see that. And then here's wet Kylo staring back at her. Um,
One of the funnier memes that I saw on Facebook. You know, they always put up the funny ones about all this trailer, and it says how you look when you get home and you remember that your mom's coming home late from work and you don't have a key to the house and it's raining.
Busted.
Yeah, like ah.
So wet, pissed off Kylo. Again, I'm really hoping the duel with the spray of the ocean and the lightsabers and then all the special effects, it should be pretty cool. I'm hoping we get a good duel. Okay, so this is cool. This was a cooler scene. When I first saw this, I actually thought this was in space. I thought it was a big chunk of ice in space, but obviously it's water and reflection in the bay. You know,
It's not.
it's like the Fortress of Solitude in space.
Yeah, I was like, that's not water.
You don't think that's water? See,
No.
I didn't think it was at first either, but
The
it
only
looks
reason-
like a reflection now. The more I look at it,
But it doesn't because there's no ships.
no ships below here, so it's just a chunk of ice in space.
Yes,
But see, that's what I was hoping for. Originally.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's cool. That's different.
because that's why when I saw the same thing you did, and I was like, oh, it's like ice mountains, and I was looking, but there's no reflection. There's no reflection of any of the ships underneath
Yeah.
that you would have definitely seen by now. Also, the mountains on top and the mountains on the bottom don't mimic each other.
Mimic each other. That's a good point.
Yeah, they don't mimic each other at all.
Yeah.
Now, what I had heard is that this was a space station or something that had frozen over.
because it wasn't active.
Yeah, well, somebody said, wouldn't it be neat if this was Cloud City frozen over? And I'm like, well, I don't think that would work. But but even if it was something similar to that, then it was froze over, and that this was where like Palpatine's been this entire time.
Yeah. Well, then I was going to point this out. Whether it's on water or if it's floating out in space, which would be cooler in my opinion. If you look here, okay, to me that looks like a Sith temple, almost. Like what we've seen in the past, just underneath ice. So not only could it just be, an actual Sith base of some kind, but we also know that when we're going to see it here where a Star Destroyer is popping out of what looks like ice. So there could be an entire fleet inside there.
Well, also if you look at it, just from a depth perception, all the edges of this whole thing are all real light.
Yes.
In the center, if you look at it, almost makes out like a ship. It's very elongated,
very dense.
Yes.
Yeah, I because we know that we see a picture in past trailers with a bunch of regular Star Destroyers, so I wonder if it's a Super Star Destroyer in there or something. But yeah, the fact I kind of like the idea of it. I'm glad that you're pointing out that you definitely think my first impression that it's a giant thing of ice in space.
Yeah,
which makes it badass looking.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think this is where Palpatine's been hiding. I think this is the Sith base. In fact, it almost looks like you got the same thing. Now that I look at it closer right here, so this mimics this. So you got two kind of giant Sith-looking towers or temples or whatever.
Yeah. Going on. Now, the other thing that I think is, just going based off stuff we've seen past, wasn't the father, son, and the sister? Wasn't that
Mortis?
Yeah.
Mortis was inside like a giant pyramid, like a diamond.
But wasn't part of that in like a snow ice place? I thought
no,
it was just cliffs.
There was just cliffs and stuff like that. And there was like crystallized entities coming out of the ground.
Yeah, for some reason it stuck in my mind. Maybe it was a different episode that I was watching right before I watched that part.
I think it was just kyber crystals. Is probably what you remember.
That's probably what it was.
But yeah, it would be cool though. If that it somehow links to Mortis.
Yeah,
I think some people would be a little lost, but if they,
but for everybody else,
super fan,
yeah, exactly,
like us, it'd be pretty cool. So, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what's in there. And then obviously the throne, which is obviously I think inside the ice, chamber. And this is a cooler looking scene because it's dark, but the lit up scene is very cool because you can really see all the
details
behind it. And there's like lightning going on in the background too in this whole trailer. So And what else is very cool about this ancient, what I'm assuming is an ancient Sith throne, is because they took it directly from Ralph McQuarrie's artwork. So this is some of Ralph's early designs back in the 80s, I think, when they were designing for Return of the Jedi. And so you can see it's pretty much verbatim. If I go back.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see it.
I mean, it's right there. There's his drawing. There's the picture. You know,
I mean, even the angles, even the angles of the edges.
Yeah,
you can, all the spikes coming out.
Spikes,
you can tell, yeah,
are exact. You know, so very cool. I'm anxious to see if this adds to the Sith mythology. You know, I mean, I like to dive into the mythology and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that looks pretty damn cool. I've always, in the middle here, there's some sort of, I don't know if it's just the way the stone is just scorched, but if there's some sort of symbol. I've zoomed in a couple times. I can't make out anything though, so I'm not sure. But there is. It's just badass looking, if nothing else. You know, something straight out of the ancient Sith.
Right.
I think we're gonna take a deep dive there. I'm hoping. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Here's the Star Destroyer coming out of the ice, and in case you don't believe me, there's the shield dome, and then
you got the two of them. There's two shield
of
domes
them on both sides.
Yep.
This is all classic Star Destroyer looking stuff, and it's breaking out of what appears to be the ice, and then there's more lightning over here.
That's what I was gonna say. Now that's where I think this was like the Emperor was able to escape and got on one of these, and then went to the remote whatever,
and
it froze over, and that's what we see. And that this lightning is when he gets his powers.
He's starting to power everything back up,
and he breaks out of the ice to come attack, because they're all going to be at one location. Because he says you're coming together as you're undoing. So it's going to be him coming. Because he knows they're all there at the one spot.
The question is, on that note, though, is he talking about everybody, or is he talking about maybe Rey and Kylo? Is it two-sided? You know, I don't know.
Who knows?
So, but it's just a badass scene, if nothing else, to see a Star Destroyer break out of the ice like that. Let me switch over to the next one. Okay, so lots to talk about here. So this appears to be, in the other trailer we were commenting on how small the Rebel fleet was. Well, we were wrong, because obviously that was this wasn't the main battle scene. This is, apparently. So obviously you got the Millennium Falcon in the front. There's all kinds of different Easter eggs and things in here that could be. So let's start with the big one. Over here, you've got what appears to be the Ghost from Rebels. If you watch Rebels, that's the main ship from Rebels.
Yeah.
Also from Rebels, right here. Remember Sabine's friend, who was a mercenary / bounty hunter. She had her own ship, and I think that is this right here. It looks like her ship.
Right.
I think over in the background and on the other side here as well, there's a couple of these. I think this is Clone Wars.
Okay.
Kind of crap. To me, this looks like some sort of variant on the Separatists battle droid.
Okay.
Their battleships almost. So it's really a hodgepodge. And then even over here you've got, if you remember from if you saw Rogue One as well as Rebels, you have the old-fashioned, old-school, maybe slightly altered Hammerhead Destroyer. Remember the one that hits the Star Destroyer and pushes it?
Now, and then over to the right of that one.
Here?
No, that's the left.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Right here.
It looks like the remember the big transport that they stole in Rebels?
Oh, you're talking. So you think this here is the like, or at least part of it is the transport that they stole? Yeah, the carrier.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and clear this off, just because it gets a little messy. Some people are saying that this thing behind the Ghost, so you see this big monstrosity here.
Yeah.
They say that this is maybe even the Colossus from
from Resistance.
So
Could be.
so you got a lot of different stuff, and I even went a little bit further, and this is kind of stretching because we haven't really seen the Razor Crest in action so much yet, but from the trailers for the Mandalorian, that could be the Razor Crest down there.
Wow.
Way down there.
I don't know. To me, that looks like the ship from Tailspin.
Blues.
Yeah. Doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
JJ was a big fan of Tailspin.
Tailspin. Let's spin it. But yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff here. I mean, I've tried. That's all that I can see. I know that there's probably more hidden in there somewhere.
Well, being that the vehicles were one of my favorite things of the whole thing.
Yeah.
When I saw this, I was like, "Oh my god!" Because that's one of your favorite parts as a kid was, playing with these things and
building them out of Lego.
Yeah, and you just zoom around and everything else, and to watch them all like slowly take form and like in Rebels and everything else, and you're seeing all these new vehicles, and you're like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And then to see them all come together like this, and you're like, oh, yes.
All I can say is Dave Filoni had to have had some input on this on episode 9. I don't see JJ knowing all this stuff by himself.
Correct.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of throwbacks.
And I'm sure what happened is JJ said, all right, I want to have a huge battle with the Rebels. What ships do we think they would have? And Filoni pulls out his giant black book and goes, all right.
You can take this,
yeah.
this.
Here's what they have. Here's this.
Here's
Here's
this.
Here's
the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Be sure to put the Ghost in the front.
Yep.
With the Falcon, because those are the two most recognizable ships.
Yep.
Let's do. He just and he starts throwing them in, and it's like, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But the other nice thing about this whole scene to me is it shows that it's a greater rebellion, that it's literally everybody that can help is helping. There's no like one particular rebel ship like there kind of was, and I mean you see them, but they're all put together. It's almost like these are smugglers, these are bounty hunters, these are whatever they can find,
right,
to scrape together a giant fleet, right, to help to do the fight. So it's going to be even battle droids, maybe. We'll see, so should be very, very interesting to watch it all unfold. So should be one hell of a battle too. We haven't really even seen that. That's just the massing of the ships, right? So okay, let me switch over here. Still getting used to this. Okay, so here's a nice shot. I just like this shot, being in the Falcon. You got the Chewie, and then the new big three, Poe, Finn, and Rey, obviously on their trip together, right? And then you can actually see C-3PO way in the background if you look. But
yep. Is that the flux capacitor right there in the center?
They've actually that's been there, but it's never been lit up.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what we're talking about, just in case you're not. Is that right there? Yeah, so what is why they needed to put a flux capacitor? I don't know. Maybe they're time traveling now. But yeah, so or maybe that's what's her name from.
How cool would that be? that like they can use that to go into the time between
the world between worlds.
World between worlds.
Or it could just be a way to talk to what's her name that's now part of the Falcon, now that we know from Solo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the droid's name.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, they've added a flux capacitor. Okay, yeah. So here's another picture of the duel.
Out in front of the barbecue.
In front of the barbecue, yeah.
looks like a barbecue grill.
What are you?
Those are my burgers.
I think it's actually supposed to be two guns, but yeah. But yeah, I cannot wait to see this battle. If they spend 3 weeks filming it, it has to be long, it has to be epic, and the fact that they're fighting on it's like a geek out moment, right? The remnants of the Star Destroyer in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It should be pretty cool. So I've been trying to figure this one out, and if anybody else can figure it out as to what exactly is exploding here, please let me know. The only thing I can make out, and it's tough to see, is over here, and this could just be fading from one scene to another. But this almost looks like a big Star Destroyer here to me, with the little lights and everything everywhere. Or it's a village on a hill, maybe. But it almost looks like a Star Destroyer to me. And then, so if it is a Star Destroyer, then this is probably something being blown up. It's probably the Rebels. Something.
Yeah, one of the Rebel ships being blown up.
Also, this is not spoiler. This is just rumor. The Falcon. There's rumors of the Falcon biting it in this movie. Hopefully, that's not the Falcon's end. I don't mind the Falcon crashing. I do not want to see it destroyed.
How funny would that be, Brian, if that's what they decided to do?
Oh my God, I would almost walk out. I swear to God, I would almost walk out of the movie.
That would be
I don't know if I can handle it. I really don't think I can handle it. If that is what it is. Okay. This was a cool shot. Obviously, this is I guess like some sort of hydrofoil boat speeder leaping through the ocean towards the Star Destroyer or the Death Star.
Yeah. No. Is that you think that's? No, that was going to ask you. Do you think that's something that she put together? Because it doesn't look like it's built very well. Almost looks like it's like pieced together from other things.
Yeah, well, like everything else in the Star Wars universe, post prequels, everything has that used feel and put together with junk kind of feel, hunk of junk. So, my guess here is she's borrowing this from somebody who's used it. Maybe it's another salvage. Somebody's been salvaging the Death Star or something. As far as who's on it, to me, it looks like Finn and Rey. To me, it looks like Finn's driving right here, and then Rey's back here.
Is it Finn and Rey or Finn and Poe? Because Poe was wearing white.
It could be Poe. It's possible
because Poe's wearing white.
That would be interesting. That could be it. You know what it almost looks like, Brian? It almost looks like it's part of a. It's very reminiscent of like an X-wing almost, except it's a solid wing and it's little boosters and stuff. But yeah. But I think it's actually Finn and Rey. I think Finn goes with Rey over to the Death Star. So we'll see what happens with that. But very cool nonetheless. All right, so let's talk about this. This is the big emotional moment of the new trailer, right? So you got this little guy who's a mechanic apparently. Patching C-3PO into something. He's working on the back of his.
Looks like he's reconnecting.
Yeah, like he's connecting him into a bigger computer. You have Rey over here, who looks very concerned, like she doesn't want it to happen.
Now, do you think? So here's when I was looking at this scene, it looks like he just has two tools in his hand.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's connecting him to anything in this part, right? So it looks like he just has like a blowtorch on the one side, and then something else connected on the other side. I was wondering if he's got like I almost want to call it a battery, but that's about what size I think it is, in there that's not connected.
Oh, like he's reconnecting something?
Yes, that's been there the whole time, just been disconnected.
To me, he looks like he's soldering something.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's been in there the whole time.
Maybe.
And just it hasn't been connected.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the next scene. And then in the next scene, you see the wires coming down from him. And maybe not this shot. You kind of see it here, where the wires are connected to the back of him.
Yeah.
And then you have this is that new bounty hunter, Zora, whatever her name is.
Zorn. The bad guy from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's in the Zed. Yeah.
Oh, Zed. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't watch that show.
My brother did, so I know all about it. But anyway, you can definitely see everybody's concerned looking at him. He's connected to something. What, we're not sure. And then you think this might be a different scene, right, Brian?
Yeah,
this one here.
So it just looks like the background kind of looks different. So I don't know if this is this could be the same scene where we see all of them in front of him. But if you look in the next in this, I don't know if we have a screenshot of the next one, but It has a zoom in of the
That's
droid in the
battle
background.
droid, but your battle droid. This is what you're talking about?
Right. So this scene looks like it could be part of that same scene, right? Because he's looking front and they're staring back at him. But in a different scene, if you go back to the other one,
Here.
Nope, next one back. Rey is on the side of him, almost behind him.
Right. So she's gone from one side and then moves all the way over.
Correct. So I don't think it's the same part. But they splice them together like it was
One scene.
one scene for the trailer, I think.
So it could even be different locations, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going the wrong way. Apologize. Yeah, because here she's here, and then there she's there. She's wearing the same garb, though, but yeah, she's in a different place. So it might be different scenes they shot.
Mm-hmm.
Spliced together. But a lot of people think that his memory core is going to be deleted, or it's going to be restored, or something else is going inside 3PO. And that's what all this is about. And yes, if you do look, there is a battle droid in the background. So a nice little Easter egg again, back to the Clone Wars. So you got a battle droid from the Clone Wars just kind of hanging out in the background. So wherever he's at is definitely a shop that deals in droids. You know, the little guy knows what he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely see that in the next shot there. Behind him, there's a bunch of parts and things just kind of hanging around everywhere. It almost looks like a little ladder for him to get around on, almost.
Yep.
And in between them there, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see that, like a little...
They're like little steps.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's how he gets around his shop, or whatever.
I'm trying. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm trying to go back through my art text messages to see if I can.
If you wrote anything else down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I wrote anything down for the.
But,
I don't think I did.
But then you see R2 freak out. So, you know, if R2 is doing his little shake thing, which is, you know, he's either excited or something's about to happen that he doesn't want to have happen. And then you have Chewie, you know, doing his little yell. Now, here's the thing I have a problem with this scene is he says, I'm taking one last look at my friends. Chewie's really the only person that gets to... Him and R2 are the only two that get to say that to. He doesn't really know Poe. He doesn't really know Rey. He doesn't really know Finn, right? He's closer to Leia. He's Leia's personal droid. So I don't know. I think they're trying to go for an emotional scene, but I think that's what kept me from connecting with it. I'm like, there's two people in there that it connects with, you know, and that's it.
A last look at my friends, and you're like,
you haven't been around them. Only Chewie and R2 have in this entire sequence.
Yeah.
So I kind of, again, if they're splicing stuff together, who knows? You know. Then I put this up because a lot of people on Facebook think that.
Well, they also
saying that this scene becomes the bottom scene from the last trailer.
But it's a different background again.
Right, and the lighting is different.
Yeah.
Everything looks different to me. I see there's wires and stuff, but the background looks different. The lighting is different. Whatever's going on down at the bottom is happening later, but I don't see any wires dangling from him down here with the red eyes. Everybody's calling him Creepio, by the way, because he's got three red eyes.
Right.
But I see nothing like I see at the top.
So, my thought on that is, we remember when every time R2 plugs into something, it's almost as if he's talking to that computer, and that computer has its own personality or whatever.
Right.
So my thought is,
the City Central Computer told you.
Yeah. Well, how rude, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so my thought is that when Rey was doing her scavenging on the Death Star, she found the central computer, and she has plugged that central computer
in there,
into C-3PO.
Okay.
And that's why the eyes go red, because it's an evil computer.
Okay. So he's dealing with something that's
and then so what's going to happen is that's how the secrets are going to come out about
where Palpatine
is, where he's been, what was your last communication,
you
know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously probably not going to happen, but in my mind, I was like, I wonder if that is what's going to.
I think obviously he's not C-3PO by the time we get to the bottom scene. He's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I think it's almost like a battle mode or kill mode. I could be wrong. He could also be accessing the Emperor left a bunch of like hologramic programs of himself to enact his last orders, and maybe that's what he's downloaded, is that particular program.
Well, during the course of the whole Star Wars saga, how many times has he been wiped?
Well, he got wiped once, really, but he's
probably twice, right?
He's had his memory jogged from time to time. He's been blown up. He's had his head torn off. He's had limbs torn off. He's gone through the ringer quite a few times.
Even when Anakin first built him,
yeah, he wasn't complete.
He was wiped.
Well, he wasn't wiped. He was left for his mom.
Well, no. What I'm saying, before that, when he was putting them together,
yeah,
he pieced them together from old parts he found.
Yes.
So
you think it's something that
prior? Yes.
That Anakin inadvertently put into him.
Well, it was before Anakin.
Before Anakin came along, or Anakin grabbed a part that had something.
Yes.
Else attached to it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So we go really deep. We go negative episode 1.
Yeah. Well, I think to be honest, what I think is it's been a not really an Easter egg, but it's been something hidden by Palpatine the whole time.
The whole time it's been there. Oh, I see what you're saying, because Palpatine created Anakin and he was there to watch over Anakin.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, that could be. That would be going deep.
Mm-hmm.
Be going very deep if they activate Palpatine's safeguard or safe mode or something.
Yeah.
Interesting. That could be. Okay, so we get the big hug scene again with Leia. I really think that Rey gets some sort of training from Leia. Now, how they pull that off, I don't know. They've only got a certain amount of scenes with her, but I think Leia may actually be doing some training with Rey. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it could be.
I think she may have Master Leia here at the beginning of the movie.
I mean, we very well could. I don't know. I'm curious to see how they're going to translate. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Like how they're going to pull her into. Like I realized that
without CGI.
Yes, and I realized that all these scenes were already shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that you can take a video and take that video and move it into another video. So technically she doesn't have to be in that scene, but she can be part of that scene without it being like complete CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to see how they work it in, because like when you said when she's training, when we watched Luke training, we just see Yoda standing on the side while Luke is doing all the moving. So what if Leia's doing that and she's standing by a tree while Rey is out there training and she's kind of watching, and then every time they go to talk or whatever, they go behind her.
And then they put new dialogue in with somebody else.
Yes.
That's the only way that would work, because unless it was always a plan in The Force Awakens for Leia to train her in The Force Awakens, and they scrapped the idea. Other than that, yeah, I agree with you that they would have to put in some ADR work after the fact.
Yeah.
So, to make it work. We'll have to see. But I really am beginning to think that Leia is training her. Just a cool shot of BB-8 just to show that he's there and he's around.
Right, and did you notice the colors of that canister by chance?
What?
It looks like the colors of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett? Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not what it is, but it was like, oh.
It'll be interesting to see, because you got R2, you got 3PO is obviously playing a major role. R2 is only seen once. BB-8 is barely seen at all, which, so is BB-8 going to just do the hero thing that R2 does? Or what's R2 do? Is R2 going to be, left, what's going to happen? That was the reason I grabbed this picture, because it, there's a lot. And then they added this new robot, Dio. So
yeah, the hairdryer one.
Yeah, the hairdryer, which I don't know if that's a toy selling thing or.
My guess it is.
So yeah, I you got a lot of droids floating around. What are they going to do? So I don't know. You think they'd add another protocol droid or something, since 3PO is going to be badass 3PO, creepio, or whatever. So I don't know what they're going to do here. But here he saves the day, because here he actually punctures this canister and sends it flying up. We see that in the trailer.
Yep.
But then here's a great another shot of Chewie and Lando again. And I'm hoping Lando is in the Falcon during the final battle with Chewie. Flying the Falcon. I think that's fitting. I think Lando should get the Falcon when it's all said and done. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think it's funny that like him and Han's thing was I'll get the Falcon back over my dead body. Then he dies, and he gets the Falcon back.
Falcon back. I just think it'd be cool to hear him be Lando again. Obviously he's going to be most effective when he's sitting down. He's the man is damn near 80 years old, so he's had double knee replacements. So it'd be cool just to see him do the pilot thing.
Yeah.
So. And I love this shot. I love seeing the Y-wing back in action. I love how it's doing turns and it's firing at underneath the Star Destroyer, trying to destroy something. It's taking damage. Just a nice throwback to the original trilogy. Really, so some nice feels there.
Well, it makes me wonder if somebody's going to sacrifice themselves in this picture, because a lot of the ones we've seen vehicles like this that are almost completely blown apart, is what they're doing is they drive into the center of something, blow it up. Yeah. That causes the chain reaction to blow it up. So I wonder if that's what this scene is going to be.
Like he's doing the kamikaze run,
yes.
like we saw against Superstar Destroyer.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be. That'd be cool. I love this shot. This may be it may be my favorite shot. Is obviously
that's definitely like a desktop background.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, and it might be my desktop background.
The only thing this is missing for me is his lit up lightsaber. Like it need like even if it wasn't like pointed towards her, if it was just in the air or whatever, it needed that red lightsaber light up to be like, oh.
My thing is here, I think he's trying to reason with her, or he's trying to trick her, and that's why his lightsaber is not ignited. That's the only thing. But they have to fight in this room. They just have to. Yeah. It's Return of the Jedi all over the place.
Well, I mean, that's the Emperor's chair, right?
Right, yeah. There's his throne. There's the window that we had in the background, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the upper floor, it crashed down on the lower floor because that's where Vader and Luke was hiding, and they fought underneath, and now. So, this is just, this is kind of like my nerdgasm moment, if there was one, because this is, and it's only like a second. You don't see much else other than this shot.
Right.
So I'm hoping that, I want to see the duel. Who wouldn't want to see the duel here? I mean, this is just badass all the way around. Okay, so let's get to where the hell are they? What the hell is this? What are they destroying? Anybody got any idea of what exactly is going on here? It's a completely white, sterile environment.
Cloud City?
It could be.
I mean, if you look at the side over there on the other side by Rey, not by Rey, but by
Kylo.
By Kylo in the background there, it almost looks like the turrets from Cloud City.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then the stairwell and the way the lights are on the left looks like staircases and stuff from Cloud City. The floor is real shiny and white like it was in Cloud City.
Here's my thing. And I would agree with you, except for this part right here. That's Imperial. That is this light design, and you're gonna say I'm crazy, but that's.
Well, no, that's what But that's I know that's what I'm saying, but I think it feels very reminiscent of
Cloud City.
Cloud City.
I think it's what's weird about it is everything we've seen about Empire architecture so far has been dark. It's been this light scheme, but dark and black or gray. Here, it's the Empire's architecture, but it's white.
Right.
Like it's a sterile environment. It gives me a medical feel. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. It definitely does. Like, is that one of the medical droids there on the right bottom?
You mean over here, this little dude thing? Or
yeah.
It could be. It might just be a canister, but it is possible. You definitely got some sort of a panel over here. And then what's really cool is between them right here is what looks to be almost like Vader's chamber, like we see in Empire Strikes Back,
right?
Where he can take his mask off,
and he sits inside the.
It's like it's a hyperbolic chamber or whatever, and you can see that at the top. You see the little things, and then that's kind of like inside. So whatever it is, it's smaller than obviously Vader couldn't fit in there, but it's something that keeps something alive. Maybe.
I don't know, man. It just...
Have they found a... Are they keeping Vader's head alive? You know, there's all kinds of weird...
Futurama?
Weird shit going on here. Because it's definitely something weird's going on.
And that's definitely Vader's helmet. It's his mask.
At the top? Yeah, I think it is.
It's definitely his mask.
If it's not, it's some sort of statue. It's the only thing black in this all-white, sterile environment.
And they both bust through it together.
Right, they're working together. That's the other thing. Which is evident by... Because I got a ton of shots of this, so... And here you see, this is kind of like the aftermath, right? And what's cool to point out here, here's a big Easter egg, is what? Let me switch on the illustrator here. What is that? Her lightsaber's in her other hand, but she's holding another blade.
A dagger.
A dagger. Now, for our Clone Wars friends who know about the Mortis arc, there is a dagger that looks very much like that dagger, and it's used to kill the Mortis gods. It kills the daughter first. There you have the father, the son, and the daughter. The daughter is the light side. The son is the dark side, and the father is like the embodiment over the top of him. Mm-hmm. And it ends up killing all three of them. Get killed. 2 by the dagger and 1 by lightsaber. Anyway, so are they now? Is this some sort of Mortis tie-in? Does this go into the bigger mythology of Star Wars? Has Palpatine done by keeping himself alive? Is he actually going against the will of the Force? So he's actually a threat to the Force itself, and that the light and the dark have to work together to destroy him. But that dagger is the big thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What's going on? And here's another shot of just them destroying it. Here you can see she's got, in the one hand, you can't see the dagger in this one. Let me clear the telestrator. Should have worked. I'll do that. Well, it's not wanting to clear. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so I cleared that out of there. But so you can see in her one hand,
yeah,
she's got the saber. He's got his saber, but in her other hand is that dagger. Like she's using both,
right,
to kill whatever this is. Is it a statue of the Emperor? Is it a statue of Vader? Who knows? Is it Kylo Ren's thing he built for Vader? And they're killing it together.
Now, so here's one of those off the wall type things. You know how Vader had his palace?
Yeah, it is his castle. Yeah.
What if Kylo built his own castle?
And it's white.
And this was his ode to his grandfather's room. So it's why we see Vader's hyper chamber in the background. We also see a statue of Vader
that they're destroying.
Yeah.
Possible. I mean, it could be anything. I want to say it's linked to the Emperor, but you could be right. It could be all Kylo, and she's turned Kylo. Although you don't know why Kylo still has his mask on, though, if he's gone light side. That would be my only thing. I'd be, what is that with that? But you can see there, that definitely there looks like some sort of a mask right there.
Mm-hmm.
At the top, but whether it's Vader's mask or not, I don't know. So
can't wait to see it.
It's a big mystery. Honestly, I've spent a lot of time looking at these photos,
and I'm glad that we don't understand what's happening. Like I love watching this because that's one of my favorite parts is to sit and be like, what do we think this is? Do we see this here? Do we
speculation?
Yeah, and then when you watch, you're like, oh, we were right on this. Oh, we were wrong on that. That's one of my favorite parts. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes you're like, oh, it would have been so much cooler if they'd done this or that.
Yeah.
But the only time it's ever really backfired on us is Last Jedi.
Yes. Yeah, because we thought we were getting something completely different.
Yeah. Like that's the only time it's ever really backfired on us.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
I like just watching these together and you're like, ooh, what is this? Oh, this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like just
right. But again, I got to go back. The cool thing to me is the dagger. It's like, why does she have a dagger? What's up with that? What is that? Why does she have that? Would they really go as far as to go that deep? And to the casual fan, would never have any clue what that is unless they explain it in the movie.
Well, what if she finds it, and because like in this movie, we see Maz.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't it rumored that she's in this movie.
I'm almost 100% positive she is.
Yeah. And she has all the relics in her basement of her place. That's why she found the lightsaber. You know, what if she has the dagger down there?
She has the Mortis dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an easy way to write it in, I guess, because it was left in the Mortis world. So whatever they do there. So I don't know. Oh, and then there was one other Easter egg. If you look in the center there seems to be a little white box. If you zoom in, that looks like R2-D2 looking in from the other side.
Okay, from the other side, from where that window is.
Yep, that looks like R2.
So do you think it's just a mural on the wall and that's a window?
I think that's a window looking in from the other side. So yeah, there's a giant window on the one side, and then the other side there's like a little look through.
Okay.
That's my idea anyway.
Okay.
So I think that's R2 though. So R2 is involved a little bit.
Okay.
But just a little Easter egg, because you know me, I'm poor over these pictures and all that. Here I'm not sure what's going on, and that's why I put it in here, because it looks like they're looking at something. They found something. They're in a cave of some kind. You got 3PO with the light in the background.
Yeah, what
looks like Poe's got a blaster drawn.
Well, it's either a blaster or it almost resembles like when you get the light shining off like the water or gems or something.
Mm-hmm. Like they found a relic.
Yeah, like right on his whole bottom corner there, it looks like he's getting like a prism shadow.
Oh yeah, from something shining.
Yeah,
could be like a kyber crystal or something. Yeah, or something cooler like a holocron.
Yeah,
or something. Yeah, that'd be really cool. They did that. Okay, so here's where you see the space horses riding on the top of a Star Destroyer, which is still cool. You see them charging. They're on top of the Star Destroyer as it's being lifted up, or this is the base of what's left, and you see all these giant classic Star Destroyers taking off from the base itself.
It's so brilliant.
Dude, it's gonna be I'm nerdgasming, but I don't, it's going to be an epic battle. The fact that you got people charging in on horses on top of a base, or
it's just funny because Lucas has always said it was a space western, and now we actually have fucking horses.
You've got the cavalry riding in with Star Destroyers, all right, and all kinds of different new kind of TIE fighters too. They've got I forget what they're called, but they've got they're triangles now on the sides. So, but yeah, just another shot that just shows how grand it's going to be, because it needs to be grand, because not only are they ending this trilogy, they're ending the whole thing. So if it's going to be the last battle, it's got to be something epic, and it looks pretty epic. This is an interesting shot. This is the second to last shot, I think, in the trailer, or third to last. You see Kylo kind of looking. I think he's inside the Crystal Palace or Fortress of Solitude, whatever it is.
Okay.
Because of the background, that's just a guess. Not sure what that is next to him, but whatever he's looking at, he doesn't like it, and he's gonna move. He's moving towards it with a purpose when he moves out of here. I think he sees the Emperor going towards Rey, and I think he's gonna try to rescue Rey.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, yeah, that makes sense from the way he looks, and because he doesn't light his lightsaber up or anything, he just kind of walks.
He's moving with a purpose.
Yeah, like he sees something, he's like, "What the hell is that?"
Right.
And I actually thought when I was watching this, I actually thought that this was a different scene from the throne room.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. It's not.
No.
Oh, you think this is the throne room?
I think this is the throne room.
Okay.
Where we saw Rey and him, and you're like, this is so iconic. This is to me, this is it. Kind of feels like he's still in that room. It's just from a different angle.
Like he sees Rey for the first time inside the
the
throne room.
Either that, or he's standing there and he hears Vader's voice.
Yeah.
And that's why
he's moving.
He's moving away. He's like,
what the hell?
Who's calling me? And that's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's possible. I don't know what to see. And then this is the one everybody's talking about. Everybody thinks that we've got the Emperor over here, and that he's right here
on the throne, moving towards her.
He's on some sort of giant mechanical device. There's been rumors of Palpatine with a big metal robotic arm or something. So maybe that's whatever's left of him is now encased in some sort of giant cybernetic device of some kind. And then he's moving towards Rey. Now he knows Rey doesn't have her lightsaber on yet. It looks like she's got it in her hand, maybe.
Yeah, and she's on ice.
Well, actually, you know what? It looks like her lightsaber's on her hilt. And maybe that's that... Blaster or dagger.
Could be. Yeah.
You could be right. It could be the blaster. That's interesting. So it's almost like the monster is moving towards her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of that's the feel I kind of got from it. It's like a Frankenstein kind of whatever the hell he's become kind of thing. There we go. All right. And then obviously we get the final shot, which is Rey, and this is where you get the Luke and you get the Leia. The Force will be with you, and then Leia always. She has that kind of twinkle in her eye. Maybe it's the last moment of the last battle. I don't think it is, but it seems to be a defining moment for her, whatever's going on.
Right. And it appears that she's in some kind of cave.
Yes.
So it could be reminiscent of when Luke goes in his...
The Wampa Cave.
The Wampa Cave.
Could be.
So it could be, reminiscent when he's doing his training, and he's underneath the ground and he finds Vader.
Yeah.
This could be where she meets up with Dark Rey.
Dark Rey sees her for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. It's all very, very possible. I like that theory with seeing the Dark Rey for the first time. That's why she's got her lightsaber lit up. She's almost got the I like the twinkle in the eye. They did a good job, You can see the reflection of the lightsaber.
Yeah, I zoomed in her eyeball to see if you could see reflection.
Nah, yeah.
There's nothing.
I don't think they're gonna.
But I thought that'd be kind of cool though. You're like, oh, they showed it to us the whole time.
So it's a good shot for the end of the trailer. Again, nothing earth-shattering. I don't think really happened in the trailer per se. Let me switch this over here. As my answering machine.
I was like, what is that noise?
Because I'm still ancient and still have an old answering machine on my landline. Goes off. And all I get is telemarketer calls, so that's who that was. Anyway, but again, nothing entirely earth-shattering with this trailer. However, I do feel like we got scenes from... It wasn't just the first act. I feel like...
I don't know. I think it was.
You think that's all the first act?
I
don't
do.
see how.
I do. I really do think it's all.
I mean, I know it's 2 hours and 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
But there's
or maybe the first half, but I don't think they're going to show. They showed us anything from the end of the movie.
They have to. That has to be the last battle. Though.
I don't think it is.
That the coming together of the rebels and that has to be towards the end of the movie. You think JJ pulled it all from the first half of the movie?
I think so. I think he's just saying we're going to go with what's worked so far. We're only going to pull video footage from this part of the movie because we don't show any of the other part of the movie, so we're only going to show this part because we thought the same thing last time. We're like, oh my god, this is how it's going to be, and this is the ending and everything else, and it was the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, but that was what's his name though too. That was
true, but you know what I mean. Like it's like,
yeah, that was Johnson.
Well, even the Force Awakens,
yeah,
we didn't get anything from the back half of the movie. It was all front half.
Yeah, it was all the first act actually.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. So I mean,
except for like Han and a couple things, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I gotta believe some of the shots are the end of the movie. If they're not, how do you top that? For the end of the movie.
It'll be great if he does.
Let's hope. Let's just hope we get what we finally.
Yeah, they're not showing. They're not showing us the holographic Yoda, holographic Luke,
Ghost.
Yeah,
Force Ghost.
Yeah,
I think Luke might be alive.
Force Ghost battles.
I'm beginning to think Luke's alive.
God, how awesome would it be to have a Luke versus Emperor
battle?
Oh,
They're both old,
Oh, it'll be so great.
but you could CGI it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. So much to look forward to, Brian, and we are so close, man. We are so close.
Yeah, just over a month away.
So close. So, but that's all we got for now, guys, and we'll be back. Obviously, with when we see the movie, we'll obviously have our reaction to the movie.
Heck yeah, when we see it all 17 times.
Yeah, all 17 times, absolutely. Brian, well, thank you for joining us as always.
Thanks for having me, man.
This has been B. Willie saying, "May the Force be with you always."